वासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So, one quick recap, not from my side, from the audience. So, I know that how much they remember. Anybody remembers what we discussed last time? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Or if you have to say just in one line that what was the whole discussion about in the last session, how do you say that? Anybody can answer. Those who are joining online also, you can unmute and say the answer. Sorry? Krishna's love. Okay, more specific. How the whole session can be summarized in maybe just one line, one sentence. How do you say that? Hope you remember what we discussed last time at least. If you're not able to express.
The most precious product.
Yes. So we can say that what we discussed last time is the most precious, the most valuable gift which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. And we discussed in detail that something which is rarely found, which has never been offered by any incarnation of the Lord. But Lord in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and then he gave. And how he gave, what was the price? Freely distributing. Krishna Prema Pradayate. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we are discussing because we celebrated Gaur Purnima. But we should every day remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because we are living on the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whatever we are practicing today, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding through Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Prabhupada is also the commander-in-chief of the army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is confirmed in the scriptures. And who is Srila Prabhupada? 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted about Srila Prabhupada also. It is mentioned in the scriptures. So it was predicted that in Kali Yuga, when people are not interested in all these spiritual practices and the subject, and they'll just run away from all these subjects and from all these kind of people, and they'll go to the far off places, right, in the foreign country. So what is the hope for them? There's some acharyas, the saintly people, they're concerned. The people, those are born in India and those kind of regions, then they have the still opportunity to get in touch and then somehow or other get access to this knowledge. But what about those people, those who will run away? They'll go to the foreign country, foreign land. So it is said that Mora Senapati Bhakta. So I don't remember exact words, it's a Bengali words, but it says that when people Dur Desha Jai, when people will go to Dur Desh, means in the foreign countries, foreign land, and then my Senapati Bhakta will come and he'll go and preach the message there. And this was actually the prediction of Srila Prabhupada's appearance in this world. That is what Prabhupada did here. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift has been very, very valuable, and we'll just build up a little bit on that. So last time we were discussing the very valuable, the most precious gift that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, and then the spiritual transformation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought. That previously, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, anybody has to become a spiritual person. Then there's certain qualification. You have to go to a certain place, to the certain people, some priest, and get associated with them, become the disciples, and like that. So many other qualifications. Should be born in a Brahmana family and all of that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just broke off all those social customs and he made it freely available for everyone. What he did? He just spreaded this holy name. And what is the qualification? Practically, there's no qualification. Anybody from any background, from any class in the society can chant the holy name of the Lord, right? And that chanting the holy name of the Lord can bring one to the highest platform of spiritual perfection. So it's not only just the spiritual transformation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought, but so many other things. Another thing is that he brought was that he culturally transformed, as I mentioned, that earlier only the Brahmanas, the certain class of people, had access to certain things, which is mentioned in the scriptures. Others cannot have access, they are not qualified. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, topsy-turvy, it make it like upside down the social customs. Said there's nothing like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. That is not the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. We are all eternally part and parcel of Krishna. And this is what is our constitutional position, to serve Krishna. So no matter what place, in what family, what country you are born, but you are entitled to receive the grace of the Lord. So chant the holy name. He made it freely accessible for everyone. So the cultural transformation brought about by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, and also then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's he brought the philosophical transformation also. There are many different kind of philosophy which prevailed from the beginning of creation. Many different kind of philosophy. Uh, in Sanskrit, it is called darshan. Right? People have some idea, the philosophy of life, that the values of life, what they think the life is all about. Right. So today, what we'll do is we'll discuss about some different prominent philosophies. I'll explain through these technical names. Some of you might be familiar with those philosophies already, and some of us might be already following those philosophies. But probably what we don't know is the technical name of all of that. And then Prabhupada has actually explained through his teachings what are the different kind of philosophies that people follow in the society. Practically everybody follows some or other philosophy. Philosophy means they think, okay, this is what is the value of life. This is how the life is. So that is why today I thought, let us talk about this, the fake philosophy versus the real philosophy of life. So many philosophies we are following. Okay. So there are many philosophies, but we'll take some 4 prominent philosophies which very commonly found in general that people follow. So we say that Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Paras tasmastu bhavonyo vyakto vyakta sanatana. There is information given in the Bhagavad Gita that beyond this world there is another world. Right? And Krishna confirms that. And he gives a little description about that world also in Bhagavad Gita itself. That what is that world and how does it look, that world. So he says, "Na tad bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhamam paramam mama." That is my param dham. And what is the nature of that param dham? He says, "Na tad bhashyate suryo." There is no surya, there is no sunlight. Sun is not needed there. Why the sun is needed here in this world? Because this world is in a dark place. And that is the reality of this world. And sun is not there, you see the real world. That is why we have to artificially put on the lights, so many other things, right? But naturally it is in a dark place. So the sun is like a light. So light is on in the morning so that you can function in this material. But the spiritual world is not that the bhashyate surya, there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no electricity, nothing is there. It is self-illumined world. There's nothing called night there. Self-illuminated world. Right? And Krishna confirms, Yad gatva na nivartante. Once anybody comes there, na nivartante, he never comes back in this material world. Tad dhamam paramamama. So that is what is my dham. So we get the information in Bhagavad Gita. When we read Bhagavad Gita carefully, then we understand, okay, there is another world also. This is not the only world. So there is a philosophy. If we divide, like, one say x axis and then y axis. So you say there's a material life and the spiritual life. Or you say material life and the spiritual life. I would have drawn it probably, but I didn't plan that. Anyway, so there are different philosophy. People say, okay, in this axis, the material life is real, material world is real. But some people say, no, material world is false. And this is spiritual axis. Some people say spiritual life, spiritual world is real. Somebody says spiritual is also it's imagination. Who has seen? We're simply just talking. There is another world. Can we see that another world? So like that. So in these 4 quadrants, we can divide the 4 philosophy. So one set of people, their philosophy of life is this material life, this material world is all in all. The modern philosophy, this is called hedonistic philosophy, which is very prominent in this modern age. All this modern educated people, modern scientists, most of them, they follow this philosophy. They think that life is all about this world. This is the life. There's nothing beyond this life. We're simply talking something about the future life, next life. We don't believe in all of that. Philosophy of life is just to enjoy this life here in this world. Eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy the life. Simple formula. how much ever to best of your ability you can enjoy, do sense gratification, create more and more facilities for people to enjoy their senses. And that is what is this modern education system, modern philosophy, modern scientists. That is what they are doing. They're figuring out the different ways that how you can enjoy more and more and more and more and more, right? On the name of enjoyment. Now there is technology. What is this technology? We are not against the technology. It can be used in a very profound way. But most of the technology is used for enhancing the sense gratification, entertainment. Right? Some of us, we belong to that generation where we have seen the television, where some few channels were there. And some of those little elderly people, they might have seen only just in India, especially two channels, DD1, DD2, something like that. We have seen those days also, but on the name of entertainment, just one or two TV channels. And then having the television was a luxury. Not everybody will have that, right? Only the kind of entertainment is just you go out, play. Some kids, they'll play outside. Some adults, they'll just gather together, they'll talk, chit chat in the evenings. There is a kind of entertainment. Gradually from television, one channel, two channel, then hundreds. Now I don't know, like I don't follow, but it might be some few hundreds of channels, right? People, they want more and more and more and more. People can't, in those days, like some movie is coming, 2 hours, 3 hours. The whole family will sit and they'll be like sticking to the TV for 2 hours. That much patience they had. But now people don't have the patience. Every 2 minutes they'll be just keep switching the channels. The remote is there. Every 2 minutes, so restless. That is how we messed up our brain, right? You cannot be. So anyway, this is hedonism, that you want more and more enjoyment, just entertainment. And so I took just one example, and now we are the smartphones. Forget about this. This is not the generation of TV or something like that. The generation of 5G and some smartphones, or I don't know, 6G is also coming, something. And then all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Reels, Shorts, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. That is the only attention span we have now. Every 10 seconds you need a new variety. Keep switching, keep switching. So much entertainment that we are looking for, right? So all this technology is being used that how to gratify the senses, but unfortunately the reality is people are not satisfied, people are not happy. That is the reality. People are becoming more and more restless. They don't have attention. 5 minutes they cannot sit and talk to someone. They become restless, especially the modern generation. So this is hedonism, where the whole idea about life is how do I enjoy life to its fullest extent, whether it is entertainment or it is. And so it's entertainment is not the only what you say advancement, but in every walk of life there is advancement, like medicines, right? So many technologies, big hospitals, big machines, varieties of medications, but still people are not healthy today. Earlier, those hospitals were not there, machines were not there, people were healthy. So this is hedonism. The idea is how to enjoy the life, because the philosophy of life is this is the only life, enjoy it at the best. There's nothing else beyond this. So enjoy fully. But unfortunate reality, we all see that, right? And that is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. This is what is the result of this hedonistic philosophy. People don't know because they don't follow the scriptures. And then everything what they try to create more enjoyment, it results in more frustration. There is a flip side of everything what we develop, right? Like people in some countries, they're feeling loneliness, especially in this country. That is a big problem. People are lonely, they get depressed. Nobody's there to talk to them. So then some brains, they figured out, okay, let us start some platform where there may not be someone physically present to talk, to share, but we'll create a platform where they can share. So this all social media platforms came. Idea was to remove this all loneliness, frustration, and all of that, boring life and all of that. Social media came. But now after social media, it is the data says people are now more lonely. So people, 5 people might be sitting in a room, but they'll be on their phones. So every idea we think that will solve the problem, that actually has resulted in creating or deepening the problem. This is what is The modern philosophy is this philosophy of hedonism, when you don't follow the real philosophy. So it has proven to be a fake philosophy of life. Everybody is trying to be happy and enjoy the life, but nobody is able to enjoy. It's very interesting perspective when we read from the scriptures. Few days back that we were reading Prabhupada's letter and Prabhupada was writing, somebody was asking very prominent question that some of you also might have this question. Probably you did not think of, but now you will think. Somebody was asking Prabhupada in a letter that Prabhupada in this country, America, we see practically nobody's interested in spiritual life and all that. They're very materialistic people here, right? But still, this country is so prosperous. It's very advanced country. So people are not spiritual here. How they're so prosperous, right? How many of you think it is your question? It might be your question, right? But now there is an interesting perspective to look at what is considered as prosperity. Otherwise, you'll be always confused. Oh, in India, you see the people so much they are religious and they follow all, they go to temple, they worship, and it's still so much suffering, so much problem, and all of that. And look at this country, work hard, and some of those modern minds they get fascinated by these kind of ideas. But Prabhupada brought a very interesting perspective. Prabhupada writing in the letter to answer him, Prabhupada is explaining what is considered as the real prosperity. We should understand prosperity is not about all these big machines and some branded clothes and branded shoes. That is not the real prosperity. It is all show off. It looks very fascinating that people are using all branded cars, branded, everything is branded here in this country, and like that. Even what is considered as luxury in India, uh, it is like a common man's facility here, something like that. So Prabhupada is saying the real prosperity as per the scriptures is where there is sufficient and the good quality of necessities, material necessities are fulfilled. And what are the material necessities? Says ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithunam. This is all material necessities. Good food, ahar, nidra, good sleep, bhaya means fearlessness, and maithunam, the good relations. That is what is considered, it is a sign of a prosperous society. Now, if you measure what is prosperity based on this criteria, what is the good food? It is all very, everything is show off here. It is nice packaged food, but all the packaged food are found to have the preservatives, which is proven to cause cancer. These are a proven fact, openly available. So we are eating the food which sooner or later will cause some disease, some terminal illness will come just by eating the food. And we are calling it is prosperity. It is not prosperity. Nidra, sleeping. I don't know the data, probably I should have checked that how many people have the problem, serious problem, and it is not the problem of the country. It is spreading all around, right? Even somebody was sharing that one group of school students came to temple for a visit, and then they have some cow products. So and there's some pills which made some cow products and all that, which is good for getting the good sleep. So the school students, age group of like 10 or 12, they're coming and they're inquiring that, okay, I want those pills, sleeping pills. The small kids, they need the sleeping pills. Forget about adults. Their situation is even worst. So Nidra, people are not able to sleep. At whole night, they're changing the sites. So how they're prosperous? No good food, no good sleep, so much anxiety. There might be very so-called, luxurious life, but then they might be, trying to sleep in a very five-star suite, but there's no sleep only. What is the point? A dog can sleep in the street peacefully, fearlessly. We are not trying to compare with a dog, but that is the reality. It is the objective reality, right? So ahar, nidra, then bhaya, fearlessness. Where is the fearlessness? There is a constant fear for everything, right? You make money, you get your salary. There's fear that okay, now government will come, they'll take away whatever, some 30-40%. What to do? You have to accept. You have to learn to live with that. And that is how, why do you think like there's so much of security system, some cameras, some this thing, that thing. There has been the time where, people won't even lock their doors. The houses will be open, they'll go out. So there's so much of, the integrity was there. But now you just leave for a moment and then some homeless or somebody will hack not even homeless. People has to, put some password security on your bank accounts or so many things, what they call it, or double authentication, this and that. Still, your accounts are hacked. Constant fear. Anything can happen anytime. People are not fearless. And then there are no good relations. There is a constant trouble, problems with the relations in this modern age. Right? There was no term in the Vedic times. You don't hear this term called laivos. Unfortunately, this is all modern. This is the story of the modern life and modern philosophy. Every other person, they are not getting along, fighting, arguing, separating, and all of that. So this is the philosophy of hedonism. It doesn't work. And then this modern scientists, modern brains, they're trying to fix. They say, no, we'll make this place better place. We'll make this as a heaven. That is their goal of life. They will clear all the facilities, and they're in illusion. So that 100 years back, there was no medical facilities, but today we have a lot of facilities. Within few minutes, you just click on some app, and then 10 minutes, the food will be delivered at your house, something and all that. People think this is what is the luxury. This is not considered the luxury. First of all, it is not needed. Now there is a new term has come. They're saying it something that delivery in 10 minutes, 10 minutes delivery. And there is a whole industry is building up now. So the guys, those who are working in that, they had to run to their life. In 10 minutes, you click and then whole system start working and everybody is running. Why do you need everything in 10 minutes? What are you going to do with all the rest of the time? Sitting on the screens and watching and wasting your time. That is what we'll do. People think, oh, we save a lot of time. Yes, it is a great thing to save a lot of time. But question should be asked, what do you do after you save time? You save time and you waste time by saving time. That is what exactly is happening, right? People can spend hours and hours on the screen watching all those useless reels and something like that. So what you're getting out of saving time and all that. So this is what is the hedonism. This is the philosophy of life, modern life. One time, somebody came to meet Srila Prabhupada. They wanted to invite Prabhupada for one of their function, and it was supposed to be some spiritual organization. And this lady, the head of the lady was some guru. She came, and then they're talking to Prabhupada, said that Swamiji, you should come and you should be like the chief guest of our program, and please come. So Prabhupada wanted to understand that who are these people, what are their philosophy and all of that. So Prabhupada conversing with them, and Prabhupada asked, okay, so what do you do and what is the goal and what is the mission and all that. So this head of the so-called spiritual organization, this person says that our goal of life is to make this world the perfect place, make it like heaven, right? So we want to bring that. So Prabhupada was very, very bold, and he had that spiritual. He says, there's no point of putting scents into the toilet. Just putting scents in the toilet or some good fragrance in the toilet doesn't become a good place. It is still remain the toilet only. So artificially you can do all this nice fragrance and all that, but still you cannot say now this is a nice place, I can just sleep here, or I can sit here whole day. Artificially you can do that. So artificially trying to create all these facilities and all this entertainment and technological advancement, so many things, it doesn't make this place as a perfect place. It is not a perfect place. We'll come to that, what is the perfect place and perfect philosophy. So this is one philosophy. This is called hedonistic philosophy, where people think this material life is all about everything. This is all in all, and let us enjoy. There's another set of people, their philosophy is, they say, they've been frustrated, trying this way, that way, so many things they tried, and there's no end. Whatever I try, frustration, there is a problem. Problems are not ending only. I'm done with this world. So they say, okay, nothing doing with this world, but they don't have any information about another world also. So this becomes the nihilistic philosophy. Everything is, they say there's nothing. It's all about, one philosopher said this, there's a philosophy. This philosopher says that there's no meaning to this life, either in this world or there's no other world. We don't believe in other world. And in this world also, there's no meaning to life. It's the matter of whether we commit suicide today or tomorrow. That is the philosophy of life. You live here or you don't live here, it doesn't make any difference. So this is called nihilism. And technically, this is called Shunyavada. Everything is zero. Nothing is there. Finished. And after that, nothing. In this world also, there's nothing. So this is also, it's a very dark philosophy. There's no meaning to life in that. People are so dull in that kind of philosophy. So this is also one of the kind of philosophy where which has brought about a big disaster to our country back in India. So this philosophy, it says Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Technically, it is called Mayavada philosophy. So what is their understanding? The first philosophy we said, this material world is everything. But now these people are saying the third philosophy, Shunyavada. They're saying this material world is Mithya, Jagat Mithya. This is all illusion, what you see here. Everything is illusory here. The real truth is Brahma Satyam. They believe in another world, but they say this world is illusory world. The first philosophy was they believe in this world, but they don't believe in another world. The third philosophy, Shunyavada, they are saying this world is illusory world, another world is the real world. So don't worry about anything what is happening here. It's everything ultimately it's illusion. So why are you taking it seriously? Don't worry, be cool. Ultimately, Brahma Satyam. You should try to reach to the Brahman. That is the philosophy. And that philosophy has made people very, very irresponsible. Right? Because anything happens, your philosophy says, anyway, it is illusion. Why are you taking it so seriously? That's the only reason why India was invaded by so many foreigners. Foreigners came, the Britishers came, and the Mughals came, and they ruled over such a powerful country. As a powerful kings, where we hear the history of India, right? So many powerful kings and so much of prosperity. Like in Hindi, say that India was at one point, it was Sone ki chidiya. So much prosperity was there in that country. How the country, which is so prosperous and so much, the value system and the powerful kings, it can be invaded because of this philosophy. It was very strongly, intensely pervaded all around. Philosophy says that this world is a illusory world. So it's okay if somebody is coming, somebody is doing, why you are taking it seriously? That's okay, no problem. Ultimately, it's all illusion. Whether you are the king today or you are not the king today, it is all illusion. So this kind of philosophy has resulted in such a disastrous thing. So they end up doing nothing, and this is the most disastrous philosophy. Many people sometimes they talk about this philosophy even today also. Suddenly, anytime when you talk about a spiritual life, suddenly the idea comes: if you want to be spiritual, then you should just cut off. You should give up all these material things because this is Jagat Mithya. Ultimately, you should focus on Brahma Satyam. The reality is the spiritual life. So don't worry about all this. Many times people have this false idea of spiritual life. Say, no, I'm trying to be more spiritual now. So nowadays I don't focus on my job. I don't focus much about taking care of my family and all that, kind of getting detached. What it will result into? It's a false philosophy. That is not the real philosophy of our scriptures of Bhagavad Gita, right? So people have been tricked into this kind of philosophy, right? Like it is just like you think of this, just imagine if somebody is going through some situation in life, some difficult situation, some challenging situation, can be some health crisis or financial crisis or some relation issues or something, and you go to some so-called spiritual person. They say, I want to take some counseling. And the person says, I'm going through this health problem or something. Really. And that person, he listens, and then at the end, as a solution, he says, don't worry, it's all illusion. How do you feel? Like you are going through some real situation. This is the real world. It's not Jagat Mithya, the real world. You're going through the real situations in this world. You need some solution, right? And the person has a solution, he says, don't worry. So you will immediately reject this philosophy. It should have been rejected long back, but probably people did not understand. It was strongly influenced by this philosophy. The whole country was influenced, right? So it's a very, very dangerous philosophy. So the understanding is it's not Jagat Mithya. Now let us come to the last philosophy and the true philosophy, which is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So the understanding is not, yes, we agree Brahma Satyam ultimately is the spiritual reality is the truth. But is the illusion that we are talking now? I'm sitting here, I'm illusion. You're all sitting here, you're illusion. Now we are feeling hungry, the hunger is also illusion. You go and eat food, the food is also illusion. And suddenly you're feeling sleepy, and then you say, no, it's all illusion. Don't sleep, don't eat. Such a false philosophy it is. No, nothing is illusion. What Bhagavad Gita says is it's Jagat, it's not Jagat Mithya. It is Jagat Ashashvatam. It is temporary. So now it makes sense. Things are temporary here. Nothing is permanent. You, me, anything, your situation. Today you are going through some challenging situation. Tomorrow it may not be there. Today you are very happy. Tomorrow it will not be there. Krishna confirmed that. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada. That whatever your Sukha and Dukkha comes in your life, nothing is permanent. So in that sense, in that context, you can understand nothing to be, too excited about all of those things. Either it is too much sukha, you celebrate. Don't think that this is going to be permanent situation in your life. And same goes for dukkha also. The miseries, the problems. Nothing is permanent in life. Everything is temporary. You, me, we are not permanent. But it does not mean that, okay, we can make that into philosophy that nothing is permanent. Sooner or later, it will vanish. So now we should be like very responsible. We don't care. Somebody say like husband and wife, or like say family. Say all of us are temporary. We are not permanent here. You are my husband and you are my wife temporarily for maybe 60 or 80 years. So I don't care about you. You also don't care about me. It doesn't work like that. Whatever is there, it is the real situation, but it will not last forever. But now when it is existing, it is your duty to take care of it perfectly. And that is what the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita that Krishna gives here. 8.7, the famous verse. What Krishna says? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmarayuddhacha. So Krishna says, therefore means he has said something before. It's concluding now. Therefore, what he has said before, what Krishna said before is interesting. He said, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yapriyati samadbhavam yati nati atra samshaya. Krishna is saying the philosophy of life is the goal of life should be Antakale cha mameva smaran. Whatever you do in such a way that it develops the connection with me, and by which you should be able to remember me at the time of death. Antakale cha mameva smaran. Right? Therefore, Antakale you have to remember me at the end of your life. Therefore, now you should practice. How you will remember Krishna at the end of life? Suddenly that remembrance won't come. So therefore, you practice this philosophy. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, in all situations, ma manusmara. You remember me, but not only just sitting idly, say, okay, now let me remember Krishna, I'll not do anything. Don't ask me to do anything. I'm remembering Krishna. Says, mam anusmara yuddhacha. Learn the art that you remember me. While remembering me, also do your yuddha, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities. So this is what is the real philosophy of life, that connection to Krishna and contribution to the world. That should be the philosophy of life. When you're functioning in this material world, you should function such a way that builds up your connection with the Lord. Somebody says, oh, okay, no, let me just work hard. It's not about just working hard. You can work hard. But ask the question, by doing either it is hard work or smart work, whatever work, whether your work is building up your connection with the Lord. That should be the question. That is what Krishna is saying. Mam manusmara yuddhacha. And when you do the yuddha, Arjuna means like he is in the battlefield. You shoot the arrows. You have to kill the people. How attentive he should be. How alert he should be. You cannot be like relaxed, laid off, and aram se. When you are in the battlefield, suddenly just momentary inattentiveness and life is gone. So that should be the philosophy. That is how we should function in this material world. When we take some roles, responsibility, either it can be your family duties and responsibilities, or it can be related to your work, your professional life, or anything for that matter. Okay, I'll distribute later. I'll indicate. So this is what is the philosophy of life? Whatever you do it with full attention, full focus, give your 100%. Right? So people think being spiritual means you start acting like very responsible person. Say, no, you should be nice, relaxed, cool. Sometimes people come and ask, the devotees in the temple here. That Prabhuji, you're supposed to be like all devotees, sadhus, all this saffron colored dress and all that. Should look like a sadhu. People think sadhu means devotee means the idea is sitting in one place very peacefully with the closed eyes, half closed eyes, very relaxed, very shanti. People think this is what is the spiritual life is. And many people follow this philosophy. Oh, sadhu should not do anything. But that is not the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says you have to fight. Arjuna was saying, no, I don't want all this. Krishna said, this is nonsense. You should fight, shoot the arrows. So we had to do everything. The difference is what makes a person devotee or sadhu or non-sadhu is it's not the activity itself. It is the consciousness by which you can do the activity or you do the activity. You can be in your household life. You can be like a grasta, taking care of your family, your whatever profession and all of that. But what is your consciousness behind that? That will determine whether you are a devotee or you are not a devotee. It's not that external appearance that somebody should look like a sadhu. No, it is not a look like a sadhu. Should be the consciousness of a sadhu or a devotee. Right. So that is what the true philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, that mam anusmara yuddhacha. So please don't keep waiting. Many times people think, okay, if Krishna wants, he'll give me. And many times we ask people that please come to temple. Say, yeah, Prabhuji will come. Whenever Krishna will call, will come. As if, Krishna has to personally go and give the invitation. Krishna is already calling through the devotees, saying, hey, come to temple. What is waiting? Sometimes people are like that. So don't just keep waiting. Push a little bit. And when it comes to spiritual life, that push is needed. Because the usual tendency is to be relaxed, lazy, postponing, procrastinating. This is the nature. We naturally are not attracted and fascinated to spiritual life. A little push is needed to progress. Something is important in life. We all push, right? Tomorrow's exam. You're not done your whatever, the course, you're not studied it. You'll push. You'll probably sacrifice your sleep. You'll sleep less. Probably will not eat. You'll push because you understand this is important. Tomorrow's job interview. You will push. You will prepare and all that. So, if Krishna will give. No, you do your duty. After that, whether Krishna will give or not is a secondary thing. But we need to push. In the same way, spiritual life. We had to keep pushing. Right? Prabhupada says in one place that my spiritual master pushed me and I'm pushing all of you. We are a pushing movement. Right? Pushing is needed. Like when you come to temple, some devotee will catch you. How is your chanting going on? How is your reading going on? How this thing is going on? That going on. So sometimes people get a little anxious also. If we are going to temple, some people will be there to interrogate us. All right. Too much of pushing. Sometimes they go and push. Hey, why you are chanting only 2 rounds? You should come to 16 rounds. So no, bro, this is too much. No problem. Krishna will take care. And they keep pushing, keep pushing. But the interesting fact of about this doing this pushing is by Krishna's grace and that push, people come to that level. What we think that probably we cannot do that, but little push is needed, and suddenly you find yourself in that space. This is how the push is needed. So this is the philosophy of true Bhagavad Gita, the true philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Mam anusmara yuddhacha. We had to do our best. We should not lay it back. We should not be just lazing around and waiting for some magical intervention of Krishna that suddenly Krishna will show some light and then things will happen. No, you do your part. Bring some discipline. Make some schedule. Push yourself. Keep doing something. That is the philosophy of life. So if somebody is doing something injustice, some injustice happens to you, don't say that, oh, no, maybe Krishna wanted this to happen, so it's okay. No, that is not the philosophy of life. That is what Pandavas, injustice. And then Pandavas saying, no, that's okay, we don't want all this kingdom and all that. That is not the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. You have to raise your voice, you have to fight if it is required. But of course, we cannot be blindly fighting, should learn how to fight and what to fight for. Should be Dharma Yuddha. So that needs little guidance. Pandavas got the direct guidance from Krishna, and that same guidance is available even today through Bhagavad Gita, through devotees, like that. So we should take the guidance. We should try to do best. If some injustice happens, something is happening wrong, raise your voice. If it is within your area of influence, raise your concerns, do whatever best you can do, and make sure that you have done your best. And after that, when the things won't happen as the way you expected, then take it as a will of the Lord. So there is a perfect philosophy. There's not too much of what do you say, importance given only my hard work that is needed. Plus, Krishna's will also is there. If Krishna sanctions, then my hard work will bring the results. It's not my hard work alone. Right. So that is the perfect philosophy. We should try our best, whatever, and under the guidance of more experienced people, especially the guidance should be from the spiritual people. They can give you the real perspective or different perspective, which probably you cannot think because we are so limited in our thinking and all that. We consider a few factors, but there might be so many other dimensions to that particular situation. So when you discuss with the spiritual people, then they can bring about more perspective to broaden your vision, and it makes your decision making more effective, like that. So that is the family of the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. That in one line, if we have to conclude, that they say that from your place, on your pace, receive the grace. Right. So you just keep pushing little by little by wherever you are. You know to become something different. You know to change your whole life like that. You are a corporate person. You are a professional person, householder person. Bring something about Krishna consciousness. Start chanting few rounds. Start reading Bhagavad Gita. Spend some time with the devotees. Come to temple. Do some seva. This is what is the practical spiritual life, practical devotional service. It's not armchair philosophy. Sometimes people get into that also. Oh, nice lecture, nice, class, this class, one class, two class, and you do 100 classes. Okay, I have to finish in 1 month, 50 classes, make notes, which is great. But you have to put into practice also. So that is when the practical devotional service should come. So we should do the seva. And while doing the seva, remember Krishna. And then gradually we'll come to the level we progress, spiritually, wherein every action, every act of your life become like a seva. Even taking care of your family become like a seva. You're going in some corporate and doing your work, that can become the seva. So we have to learn that art. And that is what is the true philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so just to summarize, we discussed about the four philosophies. First thing is the hedonism. These people believe that this life is all in all. So just eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy the life. That is the philosophy. But that has resulted in more and more miseries. There are times, every single attempt of them to be happy resulted in more frustration. Second philosophy we discussed is nihilistic philosophy. They don't believe in this world. They don't believe in another world. Third philosophy, we say that most dangerous philosophy. They say that there is the real original spiritual world, but this world is all illusory. Everything is illusory. Don't worry about it. Don't do anything. So that is Mayavada philosophy. And the fourth philosophy, so bhakti is all about practical devotional service. And that is what has been a very, very unique presentation of bhakti by Srila Prabhupada. People think bhakti means devotion. They always translate bhakti as devotion. Devotion means devotion is all about emotions. Sit in some seclusion, close your eyes, meditate on Krishna or any form of the Lord, and do some chanting something, and then feel relaxed, peace, cool, calm. Done. No, that is not bhakti. That might be one element of bhakti, one aspect of bhakti. But true bhakti is devotional service. Do the seva. Anusmara, remembrance has to be there. You do chanting, reading, hearing, and all that. And after that, yuddha. Do the yuddha. Work for Krishna. That is what is the bhakti. So bhakti means work hard for Krishna, sweat for Krishna. Right. So that is what is the bhakti. So I have to figure out that how can I work hard for Krishna? What can I do for Krishna? It's not for that Krishna wants something from us, but for our own good. And that is the idea of this Bhakti Yoga, and that is the philosophy of life. And that includes every aspect of life, every walk of our life. It's such a broad philosophy. I just gave the gist of this philosophy here in a few minutes. Okay, so learn this Bhakti Yoga, read Bhagavad Gita daily. We conduct a lot of classes, a lot of sessions. Like one such session is this Saturday evening. And every evening I conduct this called the SLAD, the Shloka a day, wherein we read one verse from Bhagavad Gita daily. 10 minutes we read. It is just 15 minutes. You come on the Zoom and just listen and you can ask your question. Just 15-minute investment daily. But a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of perspective that you add to your life. So we highly encourage all of you to join this call. If some of you are not familiar with this, please join. There's nothing like it's a paid thing or something. We are just trying to share this wisdom with everyone. So every evening except Saturday, 8:30 to 8:45, we do this session on the Zoom. Any of you are interested, just ask some of us or any volunteer here. We can add you in that group and you can join that 6 days or whenever you can join, at least join and take the benefit of all that. Okay. So let me pause here and see if anybody has any quick question or any comments, some practical questions or something somebody wants to add, somebody wants to ask. Those who are joining online or anyone here in person.